Mass production has evolved from manual labor-intensive processes to highly automated systems that deliver faster, more precise results. Today, it's not just about producing more, it's about producing smarter. Welcome to this talk. I'm Magdalena Perez Rubio, and I'm here to present you mass production made easy with Odoo. You can go ahead and scan the QR code, and it will take you to the path so you can ask all your questions by the end of the talk. If you don't have the time to scan the QR code or you're using an iPhone, a Nokia 3210, you can go ahead and copy the URL. We'll take you again to the same URL. So what is mass production? Mass production is the manufacturing of a large amount of standardized products, often using advanced machinery and assembly lines with the aim to produce efficiently at a lower cost per unit. So now that we know what mass production is, we're going to check the key factors for success. So as the description already mentions, standardization. Products should be designed with consistent processes in order to avoid manufacturing complexity and reduce defects. Efficient supply management, reliable vendors, and inventory management are key to ensure that you have a minimal waste. Quality control, to ensure you have product quality and reduce defects. And scalability. Flexible manufacturing system and capacity management are crucial to adjust production to market demands. And lastly, automation and technology. Flexible automated systems and sorry, sorry, I'm a bit nervous here. It is my first talk, so I will just go ahead with the last in the key factors for success, which is automation and technology. So you have automation, advanced technology, and software integrated systems like Odoo help ensure you run smooth production. So now that we have seen the key factors for success, we're going to see the challenges in production. The first one is inflexibility. Inflexibility in adapting to changing market demands. Supply chain disruptions, risks and impacts of supply chain management. Quality control, maintaining good quality while maintaining good quality in a large volume. And lastly, raising costs, managing production costs while maintaining profitability. So now that we have seen this, we are going to see how we can check this within Odoo. I'm not sure if you have seen the talk of my colleagues in manufacturing, what's new in manufacturing, but they have a Pedal Pro. I am a subsidiary. I have Pedal Pro Green. I manufacture products for my electric bicycles. So I'm going to show you this in the database. And in order to explain my company, I'm just going to go to my main product, which is my e-bike motor. I'm going to go to my bill of materials. And from my bill of materials, I'm going to go to my bill of materials overview. So from here, you can see I have my final product and my subcomponents, electrical, mechanical, and electronic. I'm not sure if you spot it, but there are different roads. So I have manufacturing in 3 steps and manufacturing in 1 step. So why I have manufacturing in 3 steps? That is because in my warehouse, I have a location where I manufacture my motor. So I have to pick up my components, manufacture them, and then store them as a 3rd step. I don't have to do the same with my semi-finished products because I manufacture them in the main area. So everything is handy. I don't need extra steps. If I go ahead and expand these semi-finished products, you can see the components. So I don't manufacture anything else. Everything else, I buy it. So I will explain you a situation that I have at the moment. So I have a sell order. And I have a sell order for my customer Pedal Pro. They want 300 motors to be delivered by tomorrow. So I'm just going to replicate my order. And I'm going to go to my manufacturing orders. As you can see, here it is my manufacturing order already created. That is because I have set my reordering rules. I'm not going to go into detail about the reordering rules, but I really recommend you to go to see the talk of my colleague Charlotte, which is going to be today at 2. So because of my reordering rules, I don't have just 300. My customer requires 300, but within the system, I require 377. It not only takes into account my sell order, but everything else that I would require. So I have a problem. My assembly line for electronic components has broken. So I cannot manufacture anything else that I will have in stock. I don't know what I have in stock, so I'm going to go to my manufacturing overview. From my manufacturing overview, as you can see, I have all my components, and I already have 88 motors. In order to see my electronic components, so I have here the free-to-use and on-hand. And I see that I have 100 electronic components. Because I need one of each component in order to build my motor, I have to at least have 100 of each component. So I have 0 free-to-use, I have 100 on-hand, but I have 100 reserved. That's why it's not free-to-use. I'm going to check the rest of my components. So I'm going to go to my mechanical components. I can see that I have 99 on hand. And gladly, I already have a manufacturing order that has already 18 units ready to be validated. So that's great. I can reach my 100. I will go to my electrical components, and I have 88 on hand. I'm going to expand this, and I see that there is a manufacturing order already generated. That's good. I'm going to expand it. And I can see that I have all the components that I require. They are all available. That's great. I will be able to go ahead and validate in order to deliver at least 100 motors by tomorrow. So I see that the manufacturing order is my colleague Pablo assigned, but he's sick today. So I'm just going to, as easily as selecting all the manufacturing orders, change it to my colleague Lucia. As easily as selecting everything, and everything is reassigned to her. As I just reassign it to her, I'm just going to tell her, hey, Lucia, please validate the manufacturing order 30 and 32. Now I am Lucia. So, oh, I just received a message. Validate manufacturing 30 and 32. Yeah, sure thing. So I work in backorder. I work with my backorder, so I'm just going to jump into my backorder application. I will go to operations. I go to my manufacturing order. My manufacturing order 30 is already ready there for me. 717 Hall sensors to scan. 4,780 magnets. 717 stator coils. Oof. Scan all of this. It will take me forever. But wait. In just one scan, everything is reserved. How efficient is this? I'm just going to go ahead and validate. I don't know. Why my scan does not work. I'm just going to put it in here. Let's see if now it wants to work. Good. So now my manufacturing order is ready and processed. Now, because of my manufacturing order 32, I don't have everything ahead. It's not ready because I don't have all the components. I'm just going to remove my filter already, and I can see that my manufacturing order 32 is here for me. I'm going to do exactly the same as before to facilitate my life, but here, instead of 229, I only have 18 units. So I'm going to quickly change this to 18, confirm. My components are already reduced to have 18 units, and I'm going to go ahead and validate. Because Odoo thinks that I'm going to, because Odoo sees that I just validate 18 units, but normally there are 229, it asks me to have to create a backorder. I'm just going to create a backorder because my colleagues will continue with it tomorrow. My job here is done. Thank you so much, Lucia. That was a great job. So now I know that I can build 100 motors. I'm going to go to my manufacturing order, and I'm going to split. So here, I can split in 2. I can split in 3. I can split in 4. Odoo will divide me all the manufacturing orders in equal amounts. In this case, I just need to split it in 2. And I need to change the units. I will deliver 100 today, and the rest, 277, by tomorrow. Going to change it for tomorrow and split. As you can see here in my smart button, I have now 2 backorders. As I already mentioned, my manufacturing is done in 3 steps. So I first have to pick up my components, and I already have the transfer ready. I'm going to go ahead with my transfer. I can see that there are more units reserved, but I'm just going to go with my 100. I don't need more at the moment. I will leave the rest for my colleagues. I'm going to validate, create a backorder so my colleagues can pick it up tomorrow. My components are already in my manufacturing area. I will now go ahead and as you can see here, I have all my components available. I will go and produce all. So this is a new view of Odoo 18. And as you can see, I forgot to mention, but all my motors I trace by serial number. So Odoo already proposed me the next one in line. So I already have used what Odoo proposed me. I can already, if I have in a spreadsheet, I will already be able to copy and paste in this screen. But why do it? I will just facilitate my life. Odoo will generate it in just 1 click. My 100 serial numbers are already generated. Now, as you can see that I have 2 buttons here. I have prepare my manufacturing order and produce. So if I prepare my manufacturing order, I will have to afterwards go and validate it. The machine does that for me, so I will go ahead and produce. So now the machine is producing the 100 motors. Machine is done, and in a sip of water, 100 motors have been built. How efficient is this? As you can see here, I have my 101 backorders. And I will group them by status so you can see all of them. So I have done 100 with each of them with a serial number. And I have the other manufacturing order, which is ready for tomorrow for my colleagues. So now I require my last step. I have to bring my motors to my manufacturing area in order to be delivered. I'm going to go to my transfers. And here I have it ready. I have my 100 motors, so I can go ahead and validate. But as we mentioned previously, the importance of having quality checks. Here I have configured a quality check in my transfer, because at a glance I can see that everything is correct or not. I could have done it also by serial number, but that will complexify my manufacturing process. So I just simplify my life. Everything is correct. I now can go and validate my transfer. My motors are ready to be delivered. What a great job Odoo has done. Even my colleagues from the past are so happy. With Odoo, mass production becomes streamlined, efficient, and fully traceable. With split and back orders to handle production delays and manufacturing shortage without disrupting workflows, reordering rules to both automate manufacturing and purchase orders and make sure that you never run out of key materials, managing production lines at ease, manufacturing several products. So Odoo supports several manufacturing products across several production lines. As we have seen, 3 steps versus 1 step. optimizing efficiency and consistency. Now we have the traceability, lots and serial numbers, to have full traceability through the manufacturing and distribution, manufacturing order and bill of material overview to ensure that you have a complete overview through the whole manufacturing system. This allows tracking of your components and raw materials for full traceability, including sub-level bill of materials, where the subassemblies and components are fully traceable and documented. And lastly, the assignation of serial number in bulk, as we have seen, for full traceability. Lastly, as efficiency, we have the quality checks at every stage of the production, ensuring that you have consistent and reliable outputs. Barcode management to simplify the operations, ensuring you have accuracy and speed in the production line. Validation in mass to quickly validate large amount of productions. And optimize resource allocation, efficiently allocate resources to smooth your production line. Thank you.
Thank you, Magdalena and Lucia, for the mass production. She's a quick worker. We do have some questions. If you do have additional questions, please use the pad so we can ask them to Magdalena. They're wondering when it would be actually useful to split or when to use back order when you do production. What would be the best
time? To split, you don't require to have the serial numbers already assigned. Whereas when you do back order, you have to have the back order.
Okay, already. Okay,
cool. Sorry, the serial number.
The serial number is great, perfect. Would I be able to redefine where the components would be taken from? So like the redistribution of the reserved products?
Yes, that is possible. Within the list view, there is possibility to select them all, and there is a button to use on reserve, and then you just can reserve depending on the demand that you have.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Would you be able to create a quality check on the fly, or does it always need to be like scheduled in the production?
Actually, from version 18, that will be possible at every step of the manufacturing.
Okay, that's cool and good to know. What means like free to use versus on hand when we're talking about the product and the stock?
So free to use is when you have a stock in the warehouse, but has not been reserved for any operation. Whereas on hand, it will take everything that you have in the stock without taking into consideration what is reserved and what is not.
Okay. They're also wondering if you could maybe customize a sequence of a serial number in Odoo.
Unfortunately, that's not possible.
Not yet. Maybe for next year. Let's see. Why did you have 100 manufacturing orders? I don't want to see like 100 lines for the different products that need to be produced. Is there an option to maybe simplify that view?
There will be maybe possible to, like as I saw in the demo, so you can group them by status. But there is also the procurement group that you could also group by, and that will also be a simplified view.
Okay. Would you say like what would be the major change from 17 to Odoo 18 related to mass production? Sorry, in the microphone.
So in previous versions, there was just one button in order to mass produce. Whereas now, you when the pop-up window on the demo that I did, where you can select the serial numbers, so you have two buttons. You have the prepare the manufacturing order or produce everything. So I think that will be the main change in versions for just the flow that I show.
And do you think there is room for improvement still for future things?
Of course, there is always room for improvement.
How should we handle like work order time that is registered if your manufacturing order has like more than one product at a time, register there like a back order, or how would you allocate the time with a mass production and if you have different times per product?
So if I understand well the question, how do you kind of like validate less than what it was supposed to be?
Yeah.
Actually, you could do it as I did. So I split the manufacturing order and I have the quantity that I will have for today and the rest for tomorrow. Or you could also do back order. That will depend on the use case specifically. I mean, if you have the use case, you can just come to the booth and manufacturing experts can.
Um, how do how would you manage large scale of serialized components? I think the talk was mostly related to this. So if you would sum it up, how would you handle this?
Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Like a large scale of serialized components. Imagine, because right now we're having only one component with a serial number. How would we do it if it would be multiple products or components inside of a bill of material that all have a serial number?
That it will be possible. Odoo, there is the put away strategy, and so Odoo will reserve depending on that put away strategy. So it will reserve. So if it's FIFO, it will reverse the first in, first out. So that will depend on the strategy that you will have, and Odoo will reserve automatically once you check the availability.
Yeah, and also maybe to add on this, you can import the serial numbers.
Exactly.
So
As well.
I think there's no difference if it will be one component or multiple components. It will actually be as easy as that. How can we manage the fact that we produce in serial numbers? So series between 10K or 35K pieces, we ship them in serial numbers, and they need to be able to trace which serial number has been returned to us. That's the question. Like, how would you
Normally, it
manage?
depends how you do the processes. Each serial number, they will have a scan. So if you do it by barcode, then how do you know the serial number? Then you will have to have in the product the serial number set. So I guess that
Exactly.
in the label that will be if you scan it or if you do it manually.
Yeah.
If you have delivered with Odoo, then normally all the
Serial numbers are there. Yeah, and,
exactly the move lines will be there. So
exactly.
yeah.
You can always find your serial numbers back in Odoo, which is
Yeah, that's
easy.
the reason traceability.
When can we expect capacity planning for like manufacturing? Because if we mass produce, it's not possible often to maybe do this all in one day. Would you say that there is something on in the planning side that we can anticipate for future Odoo?
You can plan. I mean, actually, that will depend. This is a really large question, but I guess they will really depend on the processes that you have. So for each process, there will be a different answer. If the person that has asked the question can come with the specific case, we can check it together in the booth, because the answer it will really depend on the business, on how they structure.
Okay. They were wondering, like, how would you manage products like work in progress, the ones that are not finished yet, but then from an inventory point of view?
But if you do a back order and you validate those semi-finished products, then they will be in the stock straight away. So you will have to validate that manufacturing order and left the rest of the components for after. So as soon as you validate it, that will be available in the stock to be able to be used.
Or in the locations, we have different locations. If you pick and pack, as you explained in the demonstration, that would also help. I think those are the most of the questions. I think we can round it up here. Thank you, Magdalena, for your time. Thank you, guys. Enjoy lunch.
Thank you.